Nui, everyone. Um, Welcome to Kika Tips. Today we have a different format. Um, Let me read the Word of God. Hinohi hanakea kua ikalani ame kahunua. In the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. So the reason I'm doing this because of the calls and the questions, the emails that we've been having. The people want to know Kavika R. He wants to know how to get started and where do we start? In the beginning, right? In the beginning, God created the heaven and earth. So the number one thing to start is you want to have a desire to begin, and once you get the desire, you need a passion to continue. Okay, then from there, what you need is called wise counsel. The Word of God says, without guidance, plans will fail, but in a multitude of counselors, plans are established. So with that said, I just thank God that Angelo and I, we have our Kika Institute, and we can teach and we can perform music to do the things that we love to do. And because of that, I'd like to acknowledge, once again, Talk Story, the people that I respect that have played a part in who we are today. Okay, I'd like to make the list. Okay, first of all, Kika Tips, we did it in the 1980s. On our show, it was at Olelo. On our show, we had Johnny Smith, Mitch from Guitar Tech, Warren Yasue, Mackie Fury, and Marty Friedman, and Eric Navarro. We had that, they went down to Olelo, and this was in the 80s. Also like to thank Boy for the fan that I use at home, Boy and Jan. I'd like to thank Mike Sakamoto, Don Oda, Barry J, Bernard, Jose Producic, all from Metro Music Studios, along with Larry Fukunaga and Tomo Fukui. And then for Poe Molelo over at Larry's place, one day I was sitting down and lo and behold, Roy Sakuma came in to talk to Larry Fukunaga. I'd like to acknowledge Melvin Lee. Worked with her at the Alamoana Hotel, and we went. We did one tour of one island. I believe it's Kauai. I learned a lot from you, Melvin, and from Mr. Naluau, and from the piano player that hired me. Now, what happens here, the Po'imo Lelo, to share with you the secrets, so you can see how we gathered the information that we have. A student called me and told me that Melvin Lee was looking for a guitar player. So as a result, I called and I got the job. Just to let you all know that I pray for God's skillful godly wisdom and knowledge every day, and God grants me this wisdom to all of these people. That's why I'm showing you, so you know. All of these people I have met and I've learned from, and they inspire me. When I went to Los Angeles, Guitar Institute of Technology, Larry Carlton, I met Les Paul. Angelo and I met Les Paul in New York. Don Mock, Ron Estee, Howard Alden, Jody Oriole, and Tommy Tedesco. I learned how to be versatile with him. I did shake George Benson's hand when he performed at the Shell. Yeah, thank God for we got Howard Roberts. He was the head of the Guitar Institute of Technology. Tommy Tedesco, Larry Carlton, and over at the Merv Griffin show that I used to go, I met Ray Brown. Yeah, and I got to listen to a great jazz players there. It was free, and I used to sign up in the morning and go back in the afternoon to watch the Merv Griffin show because it was located in Hollywood. Yes, and Johnny Smith, he came to our Kika Tips, and we have what is called Larry Fukunaga sent me on a music job at the Alamoana Hotel. And lo and behold, Dizzy Gillespie was sitting at the table with food, and he called me over and he talked to me, and I found it very interesting. It's nice talking to Dizzy. Every time he talked to me, he would poke me like this. He would talk like that. I found it interesting. Larry took me to Waikiki to listen to Joe Pass, and in New York with Morris. Angela and I went to New York thanks to Grandpa Young, and we met Les Paul and Bradford Marcellus. But yeah, Oscar Peterson, I listened to him over at the Merv Griffin show. I'd like to thank Uncle Tony and Lindsay, Rod Young. I backed Rod Young to do a show over at the military hotel, and he had his own show. Yeah, and basically moving on to Hank Ahel, my guitar teachers, Hank Ahel, Hal Blaine, Doug Forsythe, Jimmy Funai, Jerry Bird, Bud Lee. I'd like to give a memorial to Uncle Tony and Lindsay. Also, my guitar teachers is Mr. William Valdez, Kurt Valdez, who has passed away, and we performed for Mr. Valdez performance. I also like to say mahalo to Tony, who's from Las Vegas. He came to see us at Nico's, and he brought us some blessings. I also like to say thank you for Father Steve. Father Steve, with all the blessings you give us, along with Janie, thank you for the blessings. And we thank you, Heavenly Father, for all of these people that bless us with the blessings that we have. George Chan, thank you so much for our location. Thank you for all the shows that we enjoyed, going on the boat cruise. Thank you for everything, George. And I'd like to thank Juliana and Nico, Kenny Likes, Tommy, Angelo, Naldo, and I, the people at Nico's. I'd like to thank Terry and the brother from Oahu Country Club. Also, I'd like to thank Max and Mrs. Marquardt at the Pacific Guardian, and Rolando and Wanda Sanchez for all of the gigs and for teaching here. Basically, I'd like to just say aloha to my good friend Gordon Hanakai. We went boxing together. We used to train over at right across Tamashiro Market. And also, I like to say aloha to Tel Farlo, Carlos Montoya. I got to meet Carlos, got one lesson from him. Once again, one of my students brought him over with his wife. Came on the news and everything that he was with his wife at Waikiki. I'd like to thank Angelo, Nando, George Cristobal, Mr. Young. He used to own the restaurant in Wailai. Also Mr. Yap, Mr. Sen, and Leanne. Also I'd like to acknowledge that I really got inspired and learned a lot backing up Tina Santiago, Melvin Lee, Morris Young went to Berkeley, George Cristobal, sax player. The ranging from Benny Sachs, yes, when Benny was alive. It was a privilege meeting and performing with Gabe Baltazar, thanks to Nando Swan, backed him up over in Wailua. I'd like to thank Mom and Audrey and Lynn, and Leonard Kapana, Peter Moon, Byron Yasue, for bringing down all of this guitar teachers down to the UH for to teach. This is what we had in mind initially. I had that segment on why we started the first annual guitar festival. I did a segment on that. Is because we wanted to promote the art of guitar performance, of which Byron Yasui continued that tradition. Also like to acknowledge Tommy Sands, CNK, Kalapana, Olomana. We got from Harry's, we got Clayton, Allen, Clifford, and Reed. And from China, I just say aloha to Weiwei, Papa Chuck, Pucks Niho, and Poots, Kiawe. The ukulele, I'm inspired by Otasan and by Benny Chong. And I'd like to thank Khalid, Carolyn, Linda Wong and Kanyala. And we got Gaylord, Brother Gaylord, Glishenko, and Wayne Yasue, a memorial for them in John Coco. And I'd just like to thank God for all of these people. As you can see, there's a lot of people, and still there's much more. So, in question to Kavika R's question, how did I get the knowledge and information? As you can see, God provided the information through people. And some of it was serendipitous, was by accident. Some revelations was on purpose. A lot of it was I took lessons from these people. So when I took lessons, my wife, I was married, she would ask me, Mike, how come you taking lessons from all of these different people? And I did spend a lot of money, to take lessons. It was in my heart. It's something I just had to do. And I remember my son, had to go to the rehearsal, and my son would tell me, "Daddy, Daddy, where you going?" You know, that used to touch my heart. I used to want to be with my son, but something told me to hone in and master the art of guitar performance. Now my son is a guitar virtuoso, performing all over the place. I just thank God for that. The 4,000 views that my son got on Facebook, and for his group, the Michelangelo Project, and all the people that helped on his side. There's so many to mention. So basically, I like to, in closing, I just like to say, God's word in English: if you fully obey the Lord your God and carefully follow all His commands I give you today, the Lord your God will set you high above all nations on earth, and all these blessings shall come upon you and accompany you if you obey the Lord your God. Now here's the blessings. This is Deuteronomy 28, 1-14. You will be blessed in the city and blessed in the country. The fruit of your womb will be blessed, and the crops of your land, and the young of your livestock, the calves of your herd, and the lambs of your flocks. Your basket and your kneading bowl will be blessed. You will be blessed when you come in and blessed when you go out. The Lord will grant that the enemies who rise against you will be defeated before you. It will come at you from one direction, but flee from you in seven. The Lord will send a blessing on your barns and on everything you put your hand to. The Lord your God will bless you in the land He is giving you. The Lord will establish you as a holy people, as He promised you on oath. If you keep the commandments of the Lord your God and walk in His ways, then all peoples on the earth will see that you are called by the name of the Lord, and they will fear you. The Lord will grant you abundant prosperity in the fruit of your womb, the young of your livestock, and the crops of your ground, in the land He swore to your fathers to give you. The Lord will open the heavens, the storehouse of His bounty, to send rain in your land in season, and to bless all the work of your hands. You will lend to many nations, but will borrow from none. The Lord will make you the head and not the tail, if you pay attention to the commands of the Lord your God that I give you this day and carefully follow them. You will always be at the top, never at the bottom. Do not turn aside from any of the commands I give you today, to the right or the left, or following other gods and serving them. So with that said, I'd like to say aloha, nui, hello, Jose, and hello, thanks for coming. So with that said, ho'olohi, ho'oko, holomua.